Hello and welcome back to Read the Book First. This week, Marissa and I are diving into the 2001 Disney classic, The Princess Diaries. I hope you guys have enjoyed these last two episodes on The Princess Diaries. They have been a hoot for me to revisit. Truly one of my all-time faves. Remember to go and check out our Instagram at Read the Book First Podcast. That's where all the updates are coming from. If you're listening on Google Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you're leaving 5-star reviews if you're enjoying the podcast. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts, please leave a happy review. We love to share the reviews, helps people find the podcast. Everyone go ahead and share the podcast with one friend that they think who would enjoy it. Thank you for everyone who's listened, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. We are back, friends. Marissa is back.
Hello.
We are fresh from the couch.
It is 9 o'clock. I have been up since 6:30.
Yeah.
Let's freaking do this.
So, the 2001 Disney classic adaptation of The Princess Diaries.
Yeah, can we call this a cult classic at this point?
I don't think it's a cult classic. I think it's just a classic.
What is the criterion?
Of a cult classic? Let's look it up.
Let's look it up. Listen, we're learning. This is a science podcast, clearly. We're learning things actively.
So a film that has required a cult following. They are movies that are often transgressive, marginal disasters on first release or drawn from genres such as horror, science fiction, and exploitation, and which have extracted an exceptionally devout and ferocious fan base.
Teen movies, classically undervalued.
Yes.
I would make the argument. I
think within the teen movies / chick flicks, which is a stupid term, but whatever, world, then yes, this is a cult classic. But everyone's Isaac has seen this when he was young and now. But
yeah, we'll get to Isaac's transgressions.
So yes, I guess we can call it a cult classic. Yes. For Marissa's sake, because I feel like if I say no, she might be upset.
Then I'll fight.
It's too late to fight.
Yeah, I'm really tired, guys. I don't want to fight.
Before we get into our thoughts on this movie, I have a story about the first time I watched this movie. So my mom and I went to see this movie in theaters, which was a rare time that my mom and I got to go to the movies without my brother. So I loved it, as most older sisters would. On the way back home, we got pulled over, and the cop happened to be one of my classmates' dads.
Sure.
Small town. Yeah. And he pulled us over because, quote, he thought we didn't have our seatbelts on, which was not a thing that cops could do at that point.
Yeah, and especially in Western
Alaska.
state.
Yeah. And I just remember being so tired and then seeing the lights and thinking that we had crashed, but not remembering that we had crashed. Because it was 9:30 and I was in first grade.
Dead?
I know. I was
plot twist, Janessa's actually the ghost.
I'm the ghost now. But so whenever I watch this movie, which is very often, I think about that feeling of when I was in first grade being like, whoa, did we crash? And now? So yeah.
First grade. When did this movie come out?
2001.
Oh my gosh, like literally the year after the book was published.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wow, this book must have been epic.
Which is, I think, okay, so, and that's why Meg Cabot's, the series essentially got greenlit for her to write a bajillion books, is because the movie was so successful.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So for those that have not watched this movie,
I'm sorry, who out there? Who are you?
You're literally 5 years old. That is not your fault. You're 5 years old.
You're literally Patrick Star living under a rock.
Yes. I thought you meant the makeup guru at first, and I was like, what?
Oh, gosh. Millennial.
This movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyways, this movie obviously is based off the book. Go listen to the book podcast from last week. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes.
Hilarious.
Yes, it's a hoot. But this movie follows our main character, Mia, who is 15, an average teenage girl, kind of like a geeky girl, who finds out, spoiler, that she is the princess of a small European country and has to deal with that. That is The Princess Diaries. Mia in this movie is played by Anne Hathaway.
Not, as Isaac so confidently proclaimed, Anna Kendrick.
I can't even.
I will tell you, humble listeners, this is not even the most egregious of the mistakes Isaac made identifying actors in this movie.
That's all right. I thought he was like calling her, like, oh, she looks like Anna Kendrick, and I was like, I guess she's brunette and young.
I thought he was joking
Me
after
too.
the first one that we will talk about.
Anyways,
he was not listening, or he was not joking.
No,
well, he also probably wasn't listening, but that's a different story.
So this is Anne Hathaway's first theatrical debut. She is 17 in this movie, so she is like very close to the actress. I know, it's so cute. She does an amazing job.
Wow, she looks way older. Than, not in a bad, like she looks like she's in her 20s.
Yeah,
because that's like a classic thing for teen
like
anything.
Mandy Moore for sure in this movie is like in her 20s.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The Josh guy for sure in his 20s. Yeah, but I thought like right away her acting is fabulous.
Yeah, it's almost like she would win an Academy Award eventually.
Wow.
Yeah, so strange.
And she didn't even sing in this one.
Yeah, well.
Yes, so the movie opens, and at first it's like classical little music, and then it cuts to a song that immediately Marissa and I were singing to, because it's just like ingrained in our bones. We won't sing it on the pod because I don't know how to do copyright stuff, and also... I'm not the best singer.
Yeah, nobody needs to hear our singing, especially at 9.
But
we know we started singing literally every song in this movie.
The soundtrack is
so if you're like, oh, I wonder
good.
if these two girlies are fans of the Princess Diaries, you might say that.
Maybe just a little bit,
There should be like an app. You know how Spotify has Wrapped? There should be like that for movies or TV shows. Like you're in the top X amount of fans.
Letterboxd should do that.
Yeah, thank you. Letterboxd?
But
reach out.
I will be honest, when I watched a movie over and over the same year, I only put it once on my Letterboxd because I don't want the 2 people that follow me on Letterboxd to know that I'm watching Pride and Prejudice 20 times in a year. Not that they don't know that.
I mean, yeah, no shame. I mean, I told you literally today that when I had COVID, I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 times right in a row.
You need to get through life, and that's what movies are for. Anyways, this movie, I've seen it a bunch. When I was a teacher, I used to grade. Like, this was one of my grading movies where I was sitting there for hours grading. I'd put something on that made my brain happy. Yeah. This is when the half dozen movies that was just cycled through.
Yeah. Because you can quote it. Like, you don't need to pay attention because
it's just so good. But you also want to
recite it in your head.
Yes. But anyway, so the movie opens and we meet Mia. She is getting ready for school and she lives in the coolest house ever.
Her room is
so cool.
That is a distinct memory I have from childhood, is being like exceptionally jealous of Mia's house in particular, and then her amazing room. Loft room with the stairs and the fire pole and the it's painted like the sky.
The blues. Okay, so in 4th grade for my birthday, my mom painted the cloudy blue and white in my room, so I had that cloudy sky that she has in her tower.
Gosh, luxury!
I had it. Yes, and then when I turned into a teenager, I hated it.
Yeah,
and I got her to paint it tangerine orange.
Well, we all make mistakes in life, Janessa.
I loved it.
Bright orange? Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, listen. Different strokes.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, she lives in the coolest refurbished firehouse. Yep. The movie is set in San Francisco. Which is our first immediate major departure from the book. The book is set in New York, because everything Meg Cabot does is very New York coded.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I still would have liked this movie if it was set in New York 100%. But,
yeah. For the San Francisco vibe.
It was just like,
in the 2000s.
I was born in Northern California. I'm from both Janessa and I are from the West of the United States, obviously. Yeah.
San Francisco, especially in the early 2000s, that was like the cool city that every TV show, right? Like it wasn't New York.
It's like how people think of Portland or Austin now,
yeah,
I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah.
I still love San Francisco. I love San Francisco.
I liked it when I visited.
Yeah.
And I tried to go find the high school or the building at the high school, but my friends I were with wanted to see some other stuff. It was fun. It was a great trip. But I was like, okay.
I guess we won't go to this random high school.
Okay, we'll just see the friends, or not the friends, we'll just see the Full House houses and that's it. But yeah, so she's getting ready for school and she takes this really cool electric scooter to school.
Oh, that's not an electric scooter.
Was it?
She's freaking manual in that.
No way, it was electric.
No, they're like Razor scooters. They're just like the manual.
I distinctly remember when she first gets on it, she just cruises for a while and it's flat.
Does she?
And there's like little
Those are
things.
gears, though. Like on bikes.
Google
it!
I'm gonna Google.
We're solving mysteries for y'all.
Does Mia in the Princess Diaries ride an electric scooter? What a weird question.
Oh, that's not... My search history is all janked up anyways.
Discover the electric scooter featured in the Princess Diaries.
R.I.P. Marissa. I can admit defeat.
It turns out they were using old school Razor E100 electric scooters.
They were e-scooters. Excellent.
Thank you. I feel vindicated. I was like, if this is wrong, then my whole life is meaningless.
We're doing quite well, both of us.
This
Thank you.
is a fact deep in my soul.
E-scooters. Yes.
Huh?
They do just look like the basic Razor scooters.
They do,
though.
Yeah. It's spelled the same way.
Oh, I guess they go uphill. Why didn't I make that connection?
What a
ding dong. What a ding dong.
It's okay.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Not that kind of. You don't get that ding dong.
Yes.
Yeah, so they get to school and we hear the cheerleaders, right? We hear,
Hey Grove High. We're coming to you. Yeah.
Yeah. With Lana, Anna, and Fontana. Lana, who is played by Mandy Moore, who is like a big actress right now, right? Because she has that movie, the Sarah Descent movie, the
Nicholas Sparks, right? A Walk to Remember.
Walk to Remember, but also there's a Sarah Descent movie.
Oh,
because I know your thoughts. I don't. You never told me about it.
Nice.
I know, but what's the movie? Mandy.
I don't know.
Moore movie. It's like a combo of Sarah Descent movies. How to Deal, 2003. So this is after. That's after technically, but still, they got Mandy Moore, which is.
She's probably their big get.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Actually, she's not their big get. There's another much larger get.
Yeah.
As far as, like, the teenagers.
The teens, yes.
She's, like, probably their highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We forgot to describe what Mia looks like currently.
Oh, she looks beautiful because she's Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, of course.
But she has glasses.
She has glasses and bushy.
Frizzy hair.
And bushy eyebrows.
Also, you know what? She lives in the coast. Mm-hmm. How you not gonna have frizzy hair?
Of course you're gonna have frizzy hair.
Yeah.
And all of those girls should be having frizzy hair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My whole life.
It's either their hair is so full of product or they have frizzy hair.
Mm-hmm. My whole life, my hair was frizzy, and I remember going on vacation to Montana, and my hair would naturally, like, suddenly be calmer, and I'd be like, "What is this?"
It's like, there's no water in the air.
I'm like, I remember telling my mom, I didn't put any mousse in my hair, and it was fine. She's like, "Yeah, you're on a mountain, sweetheart." I'm like, "Oh." Anyways, but so her hair is, this is not really a fun fact, but whatever. It's obviously hair pieces, right?
Sure,
Because
they didn't not that much hair.
Exactly. They called the hair pieces the Beast. Right?
Offensive.
So they referred to it every day they put it in, and then her eyebrows are obviously put on every single day.
Oh, they should have tried harder on these
eyebrows.
The eyebrows, when they do the zoom, like, okay, listen, when it's far away, like the far shots, you can do the shitty eyebrows that they did.
Yeah.
But there's scenes later where they zoom in on her eyebrows. I'm like, make an effort to make them look real.
And like, as someone who, when I was younger, people called me Brooke Shields occasionally because I had very thick. I had very
Brooke Shields, Groucho Marx,
right? I had very thick eyebrows, so and my hair looked very similar to hers when I was younger. So I was like, immediately as a kid, I was like, I'm on screen, and then of course, like every teen movie, that was bad.
Makeover montage.
But she's in school. They're in the band room doing a debate.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget that this was?
I always thought that was weird.
I literally just watched this movie.
And like,
I forget this scene was first.
Yeah, they're in a band room doing a debate. The like obviously cool surfer dude is like
they have one classroom,
right?
And it is where the music classes is, the band, and also the debate
class, which is,
and sometimes it has desks in it, and sometimes it has chairs, and sometimes it has nothing at all, but one little thing of bleachers.
Yep.
Confusing.
Yep, and the tuba is usually there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody move the tuba.
Yeah, so the cool guy Josh is sitting there and giving this
cool in quotes, like
cool like
popular,
the popular like surfery dude. Like he has the like middle part blonde hair that every boy band and teeny bop.
You ever his other movie, Eric Von Detten? That's the actor's name. He did this Disney Channel original movie called Brink. And it was, oh my God, Janessa, you haven't seen Brink? You must watch it. It's terrible. I had it on VHS that my parents recorded from Disney Channel. Sorry for outing you, parents.
What's it about?
It's about an inline skating team. And then, like, I don't remember the exact plot, but his name in the movie is Andy Brinker, but he's called Brink. Whenever he comes on screen, in my head, I did it today because I wanted to tell this story. I go, Andy Brinker. And because he was in an inline skating movie.
He had a unitard on, I'm assuming, right?
No. It wasn't. It was like inline skating. So like the rollerblading, basically.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of the Apollo Ono situation.
Yeah, no,
okay.
Sorry, yeah. So, yeah, they're like cool rollerbladers. No, sorry, that doesn't exist.
Do they wear elbow pads?
Of course they do.
Okay, safety first.
Yeah, but that's not cool. Anyways, that's what I think of. And because of that movie, because I saw that movie first, I'm like, this guy is a dork. Yeah. Where's your elbow pads, nerd?
Yeah, so he's doing a whole speech about like how they should not have to wear uniforms and how it's like offensive and stuff.
Yeah,
at a private school.
Form of like, right.
Yeah, like your
I don't get to like wear my
sailing clothes because he's a sailor.
My Lacoste sweater.
Ugh. And Mia has to do the other side of the debate, and she doesn't even get through it, and she's immediately like about to barf, and she runs out, and it's just, but her acting's so good.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
believe
good.
She's about to barf.
Yeah, so we're like, we know that she is full on just
scared of public speaking.
Scared of public speaking.
I was very scared of public speaking for a long time.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I mean, adults, kids, no, fine. Adults,
yeah. I mean, I don't give a crap now, but I'm like, whatever.
That's what grad school will do to you.
Yeah. I think that's just science, but I really related to this. I was terrified of it's like a perfection.
Yeah.
I swear to God,
these outdoor locker situation, California movies,
right?
Veronica Mars,
they would be rusted as hell in San Francisco.
But this is how they're at. This is what they do.
So wild.
Yeah. Like they have a quad.
What if it's rainy? You have to like run out to your locker and hope nothing gets soaked. And these things have holes in them because they're lockers. No, sorry.
Yeah. But Lily and Mia are at the lockers and they see Josh and Lana making out.
Oh, I remember the story.
Yeah.
Every locker I ever had in high school, I don't know how I got put next to at least one guy with a girlfriend that they would just make out on their locker.
Do you not get to choose who your locker was next to?
Not always. So, like, a lot of times it'd be me and my friends, and then on one side, and then I'd be the edge. And then it'd be like, I have names in my head. I'm not going to say them, but if you're listening to this, you know who you are. And it'd be like up against the locker, making out. I'd be like, quit. You're grossing me out.
Mia sees them making out, and then she has this daydream where she is making out with Josh instead of Lana because she is hopelessly in love with this boy, and like a very like fangirl delusional
Didn't we just
way.
Read this book?
We did. It's been 3 days since we talked about it. But Lily, her friend, Lily, the actor, and like the whole characterization of Lily in this movie, so good.
Mm-hmm.
She does a great job. The hair and makeup,
so good.
So good. Her hair is always
2000s.
Awful and in weird twists with weird clips and weird scrunchies, and
there's like weird color pieces put into it
randomly.
Oh. And she always wears like a sea otter backpack that is, it carries like one lip gloss.
Oh, absolutely.
And
a
single dollar bill.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yep.
And so she has to carry around a shoulder bag.
Yep.
The use of shoulder bags in this movie,
everywhere.
accurate.
Everywhere.
Millennials will know. Our shoulders tell the tale.
Unless you were a kid that had a rolling backpack. My mom got me a rolling backpack in the 2nd grade, and she made me use it. And as soon as she like would drop me off the bus stop or whatever I was at, immediately put on my back. I was not gonna let anyone see me rolling that backpack. But it was like cute. It was like blue. It was like full Old Navy. Is that like the end of the first day? Because I think she could get set on like the next-ish day at school. Or maybe it's the same day.
Oh, I think it's different days because she runs out of class and then she goes to the rock climbing gym and her mom has to come
you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, so we got a little mixed up, but that's fine.
That's fine. Listen, it's late and we both work today.
It's fine. Yes. So I forgot the rock climbing gym. Again, very 90s. And her mom comes and comforts her, and their outfits, every time I see them together, anytime Mia's out of her uniform,
the Patagonia
I'm obsessed with her outfits. And I remember watching this probably like 10 to 15 years, 10 to 15 years ago. So like late 2000s.
This movie came out 22 years ago.
I remember being like, oh, the outfits are so cringy. And now I'm like, I love them. And I'm like, oh, fashion cycles.
Leggings before leggings were a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Trendsetter.
So
Mia Thermopolis.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So she's a rock climbing girl. Right?
Horse riding.
Horse
not
riding.
An athletic kind of girl.
Not a hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, what?
Okay. Like, I think a lot of hand-eye coordination is necessary for rock climbing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I've tried once. When I was like, no. But she goes back to school the next day. She almost gets sat on.
Yeah.
And she goes to her locker where Lily is, and she goes, someone sat on me again. And Lily's like, oh, not again. And then they have the whole daydream about Josh and Lana kissing. Yeah. Which is great. One thing I just we haven't talked about quite yet. So the book is written as a diary. Mm-hmm. They chose not to make the diary the narrator, which is the best choice.
Yeah.
Because narration based movies and shows are hit or miss.
XOXO. Gossip Girl.
But I will say Veronica Mars, it does work because of the film noir, right? Like if it's not,
I love Veronica
Mars.
Me
too. If it's not a film noir-esque movie or something like super tongue-in-cheeky, like Easy A, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's certain teen movies and teen type things that do the diary whole thing well. I'm so glad I did not do that.
No, I don't think it would have been an effective storytelling technique in this case. Like, it would have been cheeseball.
Yeah, but can you imagine if you were like my mom, for example, a parent who just brought their kid to the movie and it was called The Princess Diaries?
Right, and there's no diaries element.
Well, there is later. We could talk about that.
Right.
But it's called The Princess Diaries.
Yeah. Especially if they had any idea what the book was, which is an actual diary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Walls.
I'm fine with that decision.
Me too.
Happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next day at school, they're in that same mysterious band room that's also the debate room. That's also
that
the choir.
Sometimes has chairs and sometimes has desks and sometimes has bleachers.
Yeah, and the band's rocking out, and Lana and all the bananas are like...
Lana and all the bananas.
They're doing almost sexy dancing.
Yes, it's weird.
It's weird.
You're high schoolers, get over it.
Right? And then the choir teacher comes in and is like, settle down, guys. And so they get into choir, and Lily's brother Michael, who we've barely met, is playing the piano as they sing Catching Falling Star, waiting in your pocket. And we need to just talk about Michael Moss.
Okay, great. Because I got a message today from one of my closest friends from college, Hannah. I Yeah, I'm calling you out, Hannah. And she says, will you mention Robert Schwartzen? In all caps, I say, obviously, Hannah.
Obviously.
I'm a millennial whose preference in men was highly shaped by boys with floppy hair in teen movies.
Yes. I also think it's not a coincidence that when I was in second grade, I had a Beatlemania phase because I was obsessed with this movie because he looks like a young Beatle.
Yes, he does.
In the best way.
Yes.
Because there's some parts of the Beatles' young life where they're like,
yes.
But this is,
most of it, I would.
Yeah. But.
Okay. Google a picture of him now. Robert Schwartzman.
I'm excited.
Yes. That's
picture?
what I'm talking. The Scruffs.
The
Scruffer McScruffies.
Fine wine. Okay.
Fine wine. Much like girls who were not pretty and now have personalities.
Wait, his brother's Jason Schwartzman?
Dude, they are Nepo babies because they're Coppolas, all of them. So, like, they're related to Nick Cage, Sofia Coppola, all of them. Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola, who directed The Godfathers. Yeah. Nepo babies, but so very hot.
Way hotter than his brother.
Oh,
but his brother has that Wes Anderson money.
That's true. Yeah.
And I do know about his band. Because, like, that's, like, a fact that, like, Princess Diaries fans.
Because I was a Princess Diaries fan. I think that's clear.
Yeah, so in the movie, Michael is a musician. Well, technically he's a musician. In the books, he hides it.
It's at the very end. Oh, I guess we never talked about the tall glass of water. Yeah. Oh, what a mistake.
Yeah. But in the movie, he plays more of a musician, kind of like a soft alt boy vibe.
Soft alt boy, yeah.
Who plays keyboard with M&Ms on it because he loves M&Ms.
Yeah.
And it comes up a lot. But yeah, he has an actual band, Rooney, and they're the ones that are playing later on. We haven't got there. We'll talk about it, but that's actually their music and stuff. So, which is pretty cool.
Rooney's not a bad band.
No, they're good.
They're pretty good.
I haven't listened to them in a while since, like, the last time I randomly saw on Facebook. Did you know that Michael Moskovitz has a,
duh.
Like, yes, I did.
Everybody who likes Princess Diaries knows that.
Exactly.
I will just say to everyone that Isaac was making fun of us this whole time for, he's like, Marissa likes pop punk, so she loves this guy. Dude.
He's not a pop punk guy.
Everyone thought Michael Moskovitz was freaking hot.
And if you read the books,
yeah,
he's ultimate book boyfriend in the YA world. Not like
again, I did read these books when I was 28, but
I read them when I was a tween.
But yes.
In love. But yeah. So after choir, she has to go meet up with her grandma, who she has never met, because we find out that her dad died 2 months earlier in an accident, unnamed accident. And her dad and her mom were divorced before Mia was born, and he's just been, like, out of her life, but just sends cards and presents on birthdays and paid for the school.
Another book digression that I was actually, when I first read the book, I was like, oh, the dad exists.
And, like, this change is big, but I think it makes sense for a movie, right? Because you can't have too many characters.
Yes.
Then you have to start cutting people.
And
for the relationship between Mia and the grandma.
Right. So, the grandma in this...
Yeah, so she runs to her grandma's house, which is
a consulate.
The Genovia consulate. Flag number 1 that you missed, Mia.
Yep.
But anyways, and she meets her grandma for the first time, and her grandma is
Julie Andrews,
the one and only.
Oh my god, just the most perfect human being on earth.
Absolutely perfect. Okay, perfect casting for the changes they made.
Yes. That's what I was saying. It's like in the book, Grandmere and Philippe, her dad, play very important roles that are separate.
Yes,
but I think they've kind of combined the best
parts of them
into
one character,
Clarice.
Yeah, Clarice,
grandmother Clarice, played by our Lord and Savior Julie Andrews.
Dame Julie Andrews.
This is where Isaac had his first and most egregious transgression against us.
Absolutely.
And when Julie Andrews first comes on screen, Isaac, again with the utmost confidence, goes, Meryl Streep. No shade to Meryl Streep.
No.
Another amazing award-winning actress.
Yeah.
She ain't no Julie Andrews.
And yes. But
they don't even...
They don't look alike. They're just old white ladies, which is a fair point. But I will say, Isaac did remember that it was Meryl Streep who was in Devil Wears Prada. Which,
okay,
that's a win.
Yeah, that's true. We're handing out points here. Mm-hmm. And he had -1 million for the Julie Andrews Meryl Streep mix-up.
Yeah.
And he got 17 back for remembering that Meryl Streep was in Devil Wears Prada. Julie Andrews, for everybody who knows me, is my favorite actress of all time.
Of all time?
I love her so much. I love The Sound of Music is my favorite movie.
I didn't know this.
Of all time. I love it so much.
I didn't know this.
I love it so much. Actually, I got really, this is so petty. I got really mad at my advisor, Dana, because she told me that I was like, oh my gosh, I love The Sound of Music. And she was like, oh, me too. And she told me that she went, when they went to Austria, they went to an outdoor showing of The Sound of Music in the house that was the Von Trapp house in The Sound of Music. And I was like, I've never been filled with so much jealous rage in my entire life.
That is amazing.
Towards somebody who I love very much. It's like,
that's amazing.
Are you serious? She's like, so who loves Julie Andrews more? I was like, it's still me, because you've probably never even seen Victor Victoria. Anyways, I love Julie Andrews, so the Meryl Streep thing really hit me.
Yeah. The confidence Isaac had.
He was genuinely so proud of himself. Oh, you know what? He tries. It's hard to keep up with me and Janessa, if we're being honest.
Especially something that we've seen 1,000 times.
Wow. Like, we're literally quoting it and singing every song.
Speaking of one of the most quotable parts, we missed it. The get off the grass.
Yeah.
So Mia's walking across the grass as teens do. Mm-hmm. And Isaac just texted me. Sorry. He just said, I'm such good content. LOL. He's in the other room and he can hear us cackling.
Yeah, well, you've made a large mistake.
Yes. But yeah, the lawn joke of get off the lawn or get off the grass, and then all the different languages. Just classic.
I mean, really, like, what person who hasn't seen this movie as much as we have doesn't say that in their head every time they cross.
They're on grass.
Yeah, literally, I turned to Janessa and I'm like, every time I walk across the drill field at VT, I think of this.
Every time. But yeah, so Mia is in this palace. She obviously is out of place because she keeps going to like touch all the fragile things, and all the butlers are like reacting to her like she's gonna break something. But
which like warranted, as we find out later.
And then like her grandma hands her that like fancy like jewelry box. It's like, take care of it. It was my grandmother. She goes, oh, I will. And then she like just jangles it into her backpack. Which
it's like, open the zipper, Mia. Yeah. Open the zipper a little more. Years old. I swear.
15 years old. They go out to have tea, and again, Mia's like tapping the china with her spoon as if it's like some mug they got at a souvenir shop.
Yep.
And this is where the grandma Clarice breaks the news that her dad. Have you ever heard of? And her dad's fancy
Eduardo,
name.
Something.
European.
Rinaldi.
Yeah. And she's like,
Prince of Genovia. Ever heard of him?
She's like, no.
No, because I'm from America.
So I'm from San Francisco, and my mom's a hippie.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And we actually don't believe in monarchies.
Exactly. And then she goes, well, lols, that was your dad. And then Mia's like, wait, that would make me a princess.
Shut up. I beg your pardon?
A princess? Just... And then the butler going like...
The writing in this movie
is
so good. Who wrote this movie?
Meg Cabot and Gina Wenkos, who wrote the second one as well as The Perfect Man.
We should also talk about the fact that this movie is produced by the one and only diva herself, Whitney Houston. What?
That means that Meg Cabot has met Whitney Houston. Also, I forgot to tell you this in the other episode. I couldn't find it. So in the books, so this episode's a little everywhere. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
it's late.
I was a huge fan of the books. Listen to the last week's episode for context. I wrote Meg Cabot's fan club and other authors' fan clubs pretty often. Meg Cabot, I wrote a lot. I have a signed nameplate for my sticker for my book, and I think I still have the letter too that she it's like a generic letter. Right, whatever. But
it's like, thank you, insert name here.
Exactly. And
that's still fun.
Yeah, and you can still write to her and she'll send, if you want stuff signed, like a book signed, you can send it to her. So I'm for sure going to do that with one of my books that I get off eBay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, I have the signature of someone who has met Whitney Houston.
Wow.
I'm essentially
That's more
famous.
than I have. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm essentially a star. Nepo baby who?
Yeah, Nepo baby Rob Schwartzman.
Anyways, Mia is freaking out because her freak out here is a better reaction than the books. In the book, she's like, oh, I don't want to be a disappointment to people.
Yeah.
At the end. This Mia is like
it's not a big deal.
No.
And I think I said it in the book podcast. You were like, we haven't talked about it. I'm like, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She just resigns to her fate. But it's actually a major plot point in the movie.
She freaks out. She yells at her mom because she should. Her mom lied to her for 15 years. Her dad only died 2 months ago. So and they don't really address that. There's for sure trauma.
She's never met him. I just don't understand. That is a little plot hole for me in the movie. I'm like, you never met the guy? It's not like her mom was like, oh, he's just not in the picture. She knew that they were married and that they were on okay terms. It's like, you are literally the prince of a country. You can't get a plane. Yeah. You don't have a royal plane.
Yeah.
BS.
I know.
But yeah, anyways.
Yeah. But then,
that's just,
when she's ranting at her mom, she's getting ready for bed, so she puts her retainer in and she starts talking with the retainer. Fun fact, that retainer is Anne Hathaway's from when she was a teen, and she was talking to the director oh, I used to wear a retainer when I was a teen and I felt ugly. He's like, bring the retainer and we'll do the scene with it. And she's like, okay.
And talk with the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I wear mouth guard, and that's how I talk when I wear my mouth guard.
Yeah, but same with my snort guard.
Yeah.
Yes. We're all we're
all
princesses.
Yeah, the same thing, just a little bit older. Okay.
But yeah, so she's pissed. She wakes up the next morning, getting ready for school, and we see that the queen, her grandma, has come over to talk about the situation because we find out that it's dire that Mia takes the throne. She says, or else Geneva will cease to exist, is what she says, which we later find out is not the case.
Or I think she means how it is now.
Yeah, but the way that's phrased, it's the country will disappear, which is not how it...
it just gets zooped into France or
something.
Yeah,
which, I don't know. I'm not a politician or a European, so
we're interested in any of that.
No thanks.
No thanks.
But they're trying to figure out. She's and there's one point her mom's so the future of your country rests in the hands of my 15-year-old, and it cuts to Mia making faces in the mirror. So good. So good. And they have this big confrontation. She storms up to the tower, which is, we've talked about, the coolest.
She has a tower? Her room, again, the coolest.
The coolest.
And it's all windows up there.
Yeah. Beautiful. And her mom settles and compromises between Mia and her grandma and says, Mia will do it until this date. She'll do all the things, lessons, attend the fancy dinner. And at the big day, she'll make her choice to either become the next heir to the throne or abdicate, right? And so we have our main goal, conflict, etc.
Plot point, let's go.
Yeah. And so Mia agrees, and she heads to school, but her grandma is enforcing that her head of security, Joseph, drive her.
We love Joseph. Joseph is the Lars analog in the movies.
And he's played by, let me get the name right, Hector Elizondo.
Yes.
Who is, and again, another famous actor.
Yeah.
But Joe is very non-nonsense. no
nonsense.
He's very no nonsense as they get into a limo. It's a whole big deal.
Right. You think he's going to be this like monosyllabic character.
But he's like so sassy.
Yes.
And yeah, like he's obviously worked for the queen for his whole life. Like he's always been there. We do also meet the neighbor again.
Mr. Robitussin.
Mr. Robitussin is like this struggling artist next door who's always like eavesdropping on everyone's conversation and just like turning it into TV scripts.
Okay, it's a TV script.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm like, why haven't they given me an Emmy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they call him Mr. Robitussin. What a hilarious name.
Is that has to be some sort of like depression or anxiety
Robitussin
drug.
is cough medicine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I've heard of it on TV. And
but it's like the drowsy kind.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love that.
And then another, like this movie, I just feel like every scene's a classic.
Yes.
Because she's in the limo and she's playing with the door, the like little like divider, and Joseph's like, no matter how many times you push the buttons, it'll still go up and down.
Which is a really nice way of saying, knock that the hell off.
Yeah, it is. Like, he does a good job with being sassy without being rude to royalty and getting fired, right? And then she's like, my name's Joseph, you can call me Joe. And she's like, Joey? No.
He goes, ha 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 ha, no. Which I really love the delivery of that. It's so good.
No. Joe. They go to pick up the Moskowitzes and Mia and Lily have this cute like freak out moment, and it's so cute. Like their friendship in the movie, in the books too, it's like kind of real. It's like pretty realistic, but I feel like in the movie it's very like the way that like they kind of balance each other, but also fight, but also don't fight.
I think it's because Lily is so much less like New York, like East Coast in the movie. She's still like very passionate about causes, but she's not as like mean, I would say, in some ways, compared to Lily from the book. Yeah,
she is nicer than Lily. Yeah. In the book. Ooh, which we've talked about.
She's a little more flexible, I guess, than Lily from the book. Yeah.
Yeah. But they get to school. We get the cheerleaders again. Oh, God. But that girl does that really cool kickflip thing.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac did mention that. I was like, oh, that was impressive. Yeah, like, she like backflips and like flips her leg over. And I was like,
it's like a walkover. Yeah. Not that that's not impressive. I can't do it. But
like, I touch my toes.
Gymnastics.
That's exciting. Woohoo. But then the cheerleaders are then Lana and her bananas. I'm going to say for the rest. Lana and her bananas start like making fun of Mia for puking.
Okay, and this is what I'm talking. Okay, Lana in the book is like an actual mean girl where she's brutal and savage and sneaky, and Lana in the bananas. In the movie is like kind of how mean girls are classically depicted. Yeah. Like, oh, she puked. Yeah, like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, she isn't how mean girls actually are in real life, but it's a classic teen movie version of a mean girl.
Yeah. And then we have the first gym scene where they're out playing baseball and Mia's supposed to be catching, and it's just embarrassing. She like hits the coach with the ball in the head, but the coach's reaction is wonderful.
Okay, I always thought her reaction with the bat, and then she goes with her finger. It looks so. I love like little micro acting like that. This is such an aside, but there's this moment in Dirty Dancing where Johnny gets kicked out of the resort and he's leaving, and he does this thing with his hands that I'm like obsessed with, and he goes like, oh God, I can't even do it. He like snaps and then he does it so fast. Yes, he does that. I'm obsessed.
Do you know how to do it?
No.
Ready? Snap. Snap.
Wow. We learn things. Science podcast.
Don't rebrand this as a science podcast. Because you're a scientist, I guess it technically could be one.
That's right. And last time we talked about testosterone.
We did.
I don't foresee any science talk today.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I'm just like really obsessed with little micro acting like that.
Yeah. The hand movement and the Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah. Are you joking? Get over yourself, Janessa. Of course I'm obsessed with that. I think it's just like, it's so, I think it's really actually quite tough to do those kind of like micro movements that maybe aren't even like noticed a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways,
she does a great job.
She does so great. I love the Coach character.
Yeah.
Is this Coach Wheaton who made the hot boys list of the book?
Maybe.
The crew coach? Except she's the softball coach or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for Coach Wheaton, maybe.
But Mia and Lily are skating up the hills on their electric scooters. And Mia says that she has to go see Lily's brother about her baby. And it's just like, huh?
Yeah. Whoa, hey.
And we cut to a car shop that has a band playing in it. And this is, again, Rooney with Michael Boskovitz in it, playing the piano with the M&Ms, and then they have a bunch of
way, but like, they don't, or melt because they no.
He
melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
He snacks between songs.
Gross.
Yeah,
gross.
Right. But like he is the manic pixie dream girl.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me.
Piano M&Ms are very manic pixie dream girl.
Yes.
That and his harmonica later. Yeah.
If I saw a dude like playing a harmonica, I would walk in the other direction.
Absolutely.
As a 30-year-old.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, you don't approach me with your harmonica.
If we're not at a campfire, I don't want to see a harmonica.
Even then. And
I mean, if there's like a banjo and a guitar and a nice time.
Okay, this is where Janessa and I are diverging in opinions.
I like campfire songs. Anyways, they have a bunch of groupies there who are talking.
Okay.
I'm banjo.
over it.
I like a banjo.
You go, girl.
Okay. Anyway,
you're Supergirl, and you're here to rule the world.
Save the world.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Supergirl saves the world.
Rule makes sense in this case.
It does.
Princess of Genovia.
I like how these girls, then they're like, he fixes cars, he plays guitar,
he can sing.
He is so hot. And I talk about the lead guitarist and not Michael.
Michael's hot too.
Yeah. I think the lead guitarist is fine.
Yeah. He's nothing special.
Nothing
He doesn't have the Beatle charm.
No, he doesn't. The soft alt boy.
The soft alt boy is Michael Moskowitz, okay?
Yeah. But Mia has a baby blue, pretty little Mustang. If Isaac hears that I called the car pretty, then it's gonna be the end of it. Anyways,
I called it crappy while we were watching the movie.
It is crappy because it's in the shop.
Old and, it needs parts.
Yeah, but the shop owner comes over and they're talking about how much to owe it.
The scene, I really love the scene where he's like, speak up. He's like on the phone. Speak up. I have a band practicing. And then they stop like 5 seconds later and he's like, stop yelling. They're done. I love that scene so much. The actor who plays Doc gets like maybe 30 seconds of screen time. And he
works every second of it.
Absolutely.
Every second of it.
One of the most memorable scenes for me.
Absolutely.
Stop yelling.
I love this bit where Michael is like, I could do some work for free. And the guy, and he just looks at him.
Could you do work for free, Michael? Yeah.
When Mia leaves, he goes, oh, I could do some work for free. Like mimics him. It's so good. And
I swear, like, there is not a bad actor in this cast.
No.
The smallest parts
are so
like
good.
The butler who tells Clarice, like, that Mia isn't telling her to actually shut up. It's so, like, just the delivery is so good.
It's so good.
They made their damn money. And they earned it.
There's not a scene, like, there's not a clip or a scene that does not feel out of place or, like, not worth it. Like, next, when she goes back to Princess Lessons for the first official Princess Lessons, we have the whole statue where she breaks the finger, right? And she freaks out. And, like we said, when we were watching it, we would put the finger in our pocket.
Yeah.
And just, like, leave it somewhere, like, leave it in the bathroom or somewhere
weird. Or something.
Yeah,
put it in
exactly.
a plant.
Mia puts it into the, like, the statue's mouth, and it looks like it's smoking something or like eating string cheese or like something. Is it string cheese? But we have our first princess lessons, which is just full of iconic bits, right? She's evaluating what Mia looks like, what they need to change. What?
What is she? Her eyes are beautiful, but hidden beneath Bushman eyebrows.
Justice for bushy eyebrows. We're out here. We're living.
We're here. We're bushy.
My eyebrows aren't as bushy, but that's because I felt peer pressure to people and I waxed them when I was young.
Yeah.
They could be bushier. Anyways.
Stop
waxing
making
eyebrows.
Eyebrow trends.
No, so stop.
No eyebrow trends anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Normal brows. Whatever brows you have, that's the trend.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yes. There's the part her grandma's like telling her how to sit up straight, and then there's the whole walking scene.
Look how I'm sitting.
Oh no.
I'm like full slouching with a parka on.
I love the part when Julie Andrews is showing her what not to do and she's walking like a hunchman. I'm like, look, it's one of us. I'm just like, my queen. And then she returns, and then Mia does like this like lofty little like bouncy dance.
It was really giving Isaac. The whole scene was giving Isaac.
It was giving Isaac /
Anybody
the
who
Ministry
knows
of
Isaac,
Silly Walks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All
Isaac
of that.
doing the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Mm-hmm. I also love the part where she said like a princess never crosses her legs, and it cuts to Charlotte, her assistant, who like slowly fixes her legs. Also, speaking of Nepo babies, the actress who plays Charlotte is the director's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nepo babies all throughout.
Nepo babies everywhere. There's some more
Hollywood.
later, but acceptable Nepo babies. I'll talk about them later. But she like goes home. She's dealing with like, I don't know if this is good, and her mom's just like, you figure it out, and I'll support you. Like, Helen's great in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But she does talk about how she's
more
dating,
of like a
supportive mom, like fully,
yeah,
not
like
just
a little more present in this than she, at least in the first Princess Diaries book is.
Yeah, and then another difference from the book is that one, Mr. G, no it's more. Mr. O'Connor.
Yeah,
they turned him from Italian to.
And he's not an algebra teacher.
Irish.
And
My brain.
What's
I was like, oh, what? But
O'Reilly.
It is. Okay, that's fine. It'll be fun. But yes,
and Mia's not flunking algebra anymore.
Mia's not flunking algebra.
She's not flunking anything, as far as we know.
As far as we know, right? And also the whole drama of her mom dating a teacher is less so. She's like uncomfy with it, but like wants her mom to be happy, right? That's the decision. And so it's like, okay. And then she goes back the next day at school. It cuts to another gym scene. It's the soccer one, where she has this like bit where she's essentially getting pelted by soccer balls, and she just does not like. They all go past her according to the coach.
Okay,
some
this
for sure do not.
One hit her right on the chest. How's that getting in?
Yeah, she blocked it with her body.
Yeah, a bunch of them she did.
Yeah, on accident.
That's not the point.
Yeah, exactly. But Josh is asked to come and help her out, and she has another like weird little like
she's
daydream essentially of them making out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's like trying to help her, and she's like looking like just a dork, just being like, what?
She's like kind of like imitating his movements and like like doing that sort of laughing. It's very I don't like that scene. It's the only scene that I could care to see removed from the movie.
Yeah,
because we already got one. We already got one Mia is bad at sports thing.
And one Mia is obsessed with Josh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But then she goes to princess lessons, and we have the changing in the car where she's putting on pantyhose, which like honestly, the first time you put on pantyhose without your mom there, it does feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia, have you ever put on tights? You go from the the toe and you roll up the leg. Yeah. What are you doing? Just sticking your leg in willy-nilly.
Right? We haven't talked about that. She is so klutzy.
Clumsy.
She has to be clumsy. And I love the line that Joe says after she's like rolling around the back of the limo trying to put this on. He goes, I've never put on pantyhose, but it sounds painful. Or
it sounds dangerous.
It sounds dangerous. That's what it is. Which is
Joe is amazing.
Yeah. And then at princess lessons, she has the whole thing where she's tied up with the Hermes scarf.
Is it custom in Genovia to tie your guests to their chair with Hermes scarves?
Hermes.
First, it's Hermes.
Hermes. And then they have their dance lessons, which I love her little dance.
One thing about the being
scarves.
tied.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get sitting up straight, but this girl needs to reach her salt. Also, why is she salting her salad so heavily?
I didn't think about that.
You don't need that much salt on your salad, Mia.
No.
How nasty is that salad? You know, put salt on most things, people.
Yeah.
Season your damn food, but you don't need to put that much salt on a salad. That's all I got to say about that scene. It's always made me laugh because I'm like, what is this girl doing? And I'm a salt queen. I love salt.
I bet it's a continuity thing because if she was actually eating it, then she would have to eat salad all day. Right? But if she's just shaking something, then they...
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway.
It always makes me laugh.
I never noticed it. I just was laughing at
I
just understood her trying to do that.
I think the knocking over the salt is also, like, very funny.
I had because my mom... Because, like, I'm a reader. Always have been, right? So
Are you?
Maybe.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should start a podcast.
Really?
where you review books and then the next week review the movie that the book is, or that it's based on the book.
I don't know if that'll be great.
Yeah, well,
not for me.
You might get 12s of viewers or listeners.
Dozens.
You might have literally,
Dozens.
there might be literally dozens of us.
And they all know me personally.
I don't know. I think some of my friends from college, maybe Hannah.
Okay, well then they know my guests personally, which, welcome. Thank you for being threatened by
Hannah,
Marissa.
maybe, or Kelsey, maybe. I don't know.
Anyways, I remember, so, like, I had bad posture because I read all the time, like, crawled up into a ball. Yeah.
Janessa's looking at me and witnessing my bad posture.
Yeah. And I remember once I was like, hey, Mom, can you do this?
No.
And my mom's like,
Mom,
all
can
right.
you get your MS scarf and tie me to the
I mean,
chair?
we for sure use, like, a jump rope or something. A dog leash, whatever we had around. But I remember trying to do it.
The Alaska substitute.
Hermes who? Hermes the god? The Greek god? That's all I knew at that point. Not even at that point. I hadn't read Percy Jackson yet. But anyways. But yeah, so I had tried to do it. I didn't do it more than once because obviously I still have bad
Your mom's
posture.
like, we need the jump rope, okay?
Yeah.
We can't tie you up with the jump rope anymore. we need to take the dog. We did take the dog on a walk. You gotta untie the leash.
Goodness. But yeah.
That is so funny.
The dancing scene. She's getting taught to dance by Joe, and she does this cute little, like, hand bop, hip bop.
Yeah.
That, like, looks cool.
It's not
right?
bad dancing.
As a bad dancer.
I do normal dancing.
I love to dance.
Oh, yes.
Not a good dancer.
Oh, absolutely the same.
I've tried, like, teenage me, before my first dance, trying to do different dances. I for sure threw that in there when I was trying in the mirror before I actually went to see what I looked like. And it was an immediately, no.
No, it's not going to happen for me.
No, it's not. And then she, like, Joe's trying to teach her to, like, waltz or something, and then he spins her, and she like, comes back to him and, like, hits him and goes,
Yeah, she knocks the wind out of him.
For sure. And then the grandma and Joe dance to show him, and they're, like, cutely dancing, and it's, like, scandalous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she has to go, and then he's like, you've been wearing black too long. Like it's been in morning too long. And then they, like, have more saucy dancing, and then they, like, it's so cute.
Yeah, they're romantic.
Mm-hmm. Scandaloso.
We stan.
Yes.
Clarice and Joseph.
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
Shaft.
Oh, yeah. She goes, Lily, right, is like, do you know you look like Shaft?
Has anybody ever told you look like Shaft? And he goes, yes.
Yeah.
So good.
In the next scene, like, she goes to school. She's brushing off Lily again for grandma lessons. So Lily's starting to get mad.
Right.
There's that bit where, not Boris, but the person that's supposed to be the place of Boris, Jeremiah, right?
Maya and Mia.
But Jeremiah takes a quarter from out of her ear, and Lily goes, the way to a girl's heart is not to treat her like a vending machine.
And what did I say? I said, I wish a vending machine would give me money.
The man has money, Lily.
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah.
With inflation in 20 years, that'll be $1.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good at math.
What denomination of coin was it?
It was a big coin, honestly.
Like a toonie?
I love a toonie. I think it was probably a 50-cent piece.
Okay. Wow. Look at you, Jeremiah.
I know. But
notably, he does tuck his sweater into his pants, just like Boris.
He does. Mm-hmm. And he has, well, I don't know about the red hair thing. That's later in the book series. He does dye his hair red later on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm now wondering, I'm like, is that because of the movie? I know. I'm going to do research, reading these books again. Science. But Mia's late for princess lessons, so this time she runs across the grass, and again we get off the grass and all the different languages. So good. And we meet Paolo.
Oh, Paolo Pugliese.
Paolo, who is going to do her makeover.
Yeah, teenage movie makeover montage.
With great music and, like, hilarious bits. Like, he combs her hair, she breaks that brush. I had that brush growing up. I, too, had broken it. Mm-hmm. With my hair.
Get a better brush.
I know.
And also, why are you brushing from the top down? You brush
or, like, ends. Not wet or spraying any conditioning in it.
Yeah.
It's like a...
Paolo, why don't you try being good at your job? Is what we're saying.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And he has these, like, 2 assistants who are dressed up in, like, such... early aughts,
silver, like
shiny
space.
pleather.
Yeah, they're wearing sunglasses the
and,
whole
like, furry,
time.
Like, so good. Yeah, they have the whole makeover.
They're like Eastern European or Scandinavian or something. Yeah,
for sure. And I like the eyebrow bit where he's like, we'll call them Frida and Kahlo.
I definitely did not understand that when I was a kid. No. Absolutely not.
And I knew the Brooke Shields reference that they make later.
Right.
But that's
if
only
Brooke
again.
Shields and Groucho Marx had a baby, they would have your eyebrows.
Again, I only knew that because people would call me Brooke Shields.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about with the janky eyebrows. Like, they're like, look how bushy your eyebrows are.
Yes.
I'm like, you can't just, like, draw in with, like, black eyeliner that her eyebrows are bushy. Give me a break.
Yeah. And
makeup department.
She gets all made up, and she has now, like, Anne Hathaway's normal hair.
Paolo is exhausted. Because only Paolo could take this and this and give you a princess. So it's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie because it's so goofy.
It is. It's this and this. But the character Paolo would do that. So
absolutely. Paolo, played by the same guy that is the dad in 10 Things I Hate About You of Read the Book First podcast fame.
Only that. Yeah. It's only been mentioned there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Mia's now made over, and we skip to the next day where she picks up the Moscovitzes, and this is the first time we see Michael with a harmonica.
R.I.P.
Blues. He's just so emotional.
Blues.
Mia comes out, and she's expecting Lily to have this, like, great reaction because for once Mia feels beautiful and confident, right? Mm-hmm. Because she's been a lot of her life, right? And Lily immediately is like, "What happened? You look awful."
I'll go.
Yeah,
yeah. Basically,
or like he goes, "You look weird."
Michael opens the door first, and he is like, "Whoa, holy crap!"
Yeah, and Lily's like,
"I am in trouble."
Mm-hmm. So Lily looks. She goes like, "You look weird," and then Michael goes, "An attractive weird."
Which is
like, show your cards, Michael. Show your cards. But they're on the way to school, and Lily's just going ranting about how Mia has changed, and she's like a popular girl. She's that part of
the
bag,
A crowd.
The A crowd.
Which is one of like 5 times that phrase is used. Yeah,
outdated.
She sells
Y2K.
out. Mm-hmm. Like, look at this leather bag. We could hawk this and feed a third world nation.
Crying, and it's so sad. Yeah. But Joe notices in the mirror, and it's so cute. They get to school.
Was my mirror fogging up?
Was my mirror fogging up, or was
someone tearing back there?
And like he says that like Eleanor Roosevelt quote.
No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
But then Mia covers her hair with that wool gray bucket hat.
One of I'm a bucket hat fan because I'm a dork. But
I always thought it was ugly. But now looking at it, I'm like, I want a wool bucket hat.
No. Again, Janessa and I are fighting. First the banjo, and now
I've never worn a bucket hat since I was like a child.
Sure. I love a good bucket hat. But I
never thought I wanted a wool bucket hat until I watched it this last
And
viewing.
you want to put your hair up under it?
No, my hair's not gonna fit in that. I already have a big ass head.
It's like it's the head or nothing.
Yep. Anyways, Mia is fed up with one car ride with Lily, which is a difference from the book, right? Because they're beefing the whole book. Here, they're beefing for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And immediately, as they're walking the last few blocks to school, Mia's like, fine, shut up. I'm tired of this. I'm taking it from everyone. I am tired of taking it of you. Let's hide behind this tree.
Michael does have the same reaction when Mia is like, Lily, stop it. And he goes, thank you. And like shakes her hand. It's very funny. It's very similar to Michael's
and then plays the harmonica and walks off.
Lily, breathe. And then he does like Lamaze breathing. Like he. Yeah, it's so goofy. And then yes, he does play his harmonica.
Blues.
Yeah, sad alt boy with his floppy hair.
Yep.
And beautiful face.
Yep. And so Mia tells Lily that she's a princess, but like it's a royal secret. You can't tell it. Lily's like, I promise I won't. I promise I won't. And she's like super excited. Like she has changed her whole tune. They get to class. Mia still has the wool bucket hat on. And of course, Lana's sitting behind her and tells the teacher, this is against dress code. No one, if I have
Mr. O'Connor,
everyone should have to abide by it. Da, 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 da. And so the teacher makes her take off her hat and everyone freaks out. Which like
one girl says, did she get a head transplant?
Yeah.
What? Like, what the hell is that?
Okay, there's no possible way for some other like choir or graduation. There's for sure one day that Mia had straightened her hair.
Absolutely.
If she was any other teenage girl.
Yes.
Right? She had straightened her hair at least
especially
once.
At that time.
Yes. So that's not that weird. Like,
yeah. Oh, who's trying to fit in now?
No glasses.
Lana Banana.
Plucked eyebrows and straightened hair. Yeah. That's it.
Paula did break her glasses. I'm like, that's seems expensive. Crazy.
But also royalty. They're fine.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just find frames that fit your face better.
Exactly. The end. Yeah. And it's a huge deal. And like Lily comes to save the day saying, I think it's cool.
Or they're about to have a quiz on the French Revolution. And she goes, hair or Voltaire? Personally, I'd like to learn about Voltaire, which is very funny. And definitely a reference that I had no idea.
At that age. No, I was like,
with the age I was, I was like, yeah, Voltaire? Hilarious.
I was like, vulture?
Vulture?
Yeah.
Vulture or her.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the princess lessons where they're doing the fake driving and Joe's in the front miming driving and they were learning how to wave.
Yeah.
The thank you for being here today. Which the waving that she teaches her is not how they teach Disney princesses. Do you know how they teach Disney princesses to wave?
Like at Disney, like the cast members?
The parades.
Yeah.
They go, it goes elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. So like big elbows, just a wrist. Because then that way you can go and look at someone. You're like, hello to you. It's personal. Hello to you. It's personal.
Yeah, this is not personal.
No.
Sort of circling your hand towards someone.
It's just like, hello, I'm acknowledging that you're there. And I am not bothered.
Yep.
Right? Where the Disney princesses are like, we want everyone who sees you think that you're.
Right.
Yeah. So it's elbow.
This is a personal connection. And I'm definitely not paid to do this job.
Exactly. Okay, then we have the mom and daughter paintball dart scene.
Hello,
you're like, I have a story. What is this? What is this?
So, I think you know that I was a camp counselor for a long time. In my last year of being a camp counselor, I was like, okay, this is my final year to do this balloons with paint in them for my campers. Mm-hmm. And so I got the art director on board, but we couldn't use darts. Like they wouldn't let us use darts, even though I had older girls because older girl campers. Mm-hmm. I worked at an all girl camp.
Yeah.
So we used like rocks. Just as effective.
Yeah?
Yeah. And we they're so cute. I have no idea where my painting is anymore. Aww. But yeah, we did that at camp because I was
fill up the balloons?
It's really easy. Yeah. You can't obviously blow up with your mouth because that's disgusting, but you fill the paint up and then you just do the air like an air pump.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
It always seemed so much fun.
It was so fun, and like the campers had the most fun. It's like throwing. This is the second podcast in a row we've talked about throwing rocks at people, but it's just throwing rocks at balloons and watching them pop. Yeah. It's cheap because balloons are cheap and paint is fairly cheap, especially when you're working at a scale. Yeah, like at that scale, you get like the huge buckets. Yeah. Yeah. And like, it's like, go get a sharp rock from, over there.
The woods.
Yeah. Go in the woods.
Okay. I'm just saying, I have a big yard.
I'm down. I have the expertise that we need from being a camp counselor a decade ago.
I'm just saying it'd be a fun activity to do.
11 years ago. Yes. It's so fun. There's nothing more fun. And we could use darts because we're adults.
We're adults watching a kids movie and making a podcast about it. Yeah, we should for sure do that.
It's super fun. And anyways, I just love it. And that is the exact reason I did it, because I was like, this is my last year. No one has ever agreed to let me do this. And the art director that year was just like so fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was in charge of I was like the head counselor, basically. And I was like, we're doing it.
That's awesome. The next scene, they're walking to school. Me and Michael walking together. Michael asks her what she's doing next Saturday and if she wants to come see them play music, and we put the last part of the car together, and Mia's like, oh, like a date, and he's like, awkward, no, and then we have Lily running blocks away. hey wait up.
Not you. I don't even know you. And I told Janessa and Isaac that I have literally said this to people in real life.
It's just so good. But they get to school and it's just covered with paps. There's this paparazzi everywhere. And so they're freaking out. Someone told Mia asked if it's Lily. Lily was like, no, I didn't even tell Michael. Like, no.
Michael is like, why is everybody calling her princess?
Yeah.
Connect the dots, Michael.
And so they get rushed in. Vice Principal Gupta. They demoted Principal Gupta in here. I didn't realize to tell you. Why did they make her vice principal?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Right?
What's the point of that? Justice for Sandra Oh.
She's so good.
Who is amazing.
So
is this one of her first major roles? Probably.
I have no idea.
Filmography. Christina is my favorite Grey's Anatomy character. So.
There's a lot of people who are in this movie and on Grey's Anatomy. There was a list on IMDb, okay.
So I trusted it. List your sources.
IMDb was like, these 4 people in this movie, they're like side characters.
This is
where's
one of her first big roles that I recognize, at least.
She was acting from the late 80s through the 90s, but she was in the Mr. Bean movie in 97.
Yeah. So Grey's Anatomy started 4 years later.
Yeah.
And she plays Christina, the best character.
Yeah, this is, I think, the only one I see until later on.
Yeah. Right. It's the most notable one for a while.
Yeah. But she gathers her up and they go into the principal's office and she gets a phone call. And she goes, Gupta. Mm-hmm. 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 And then she hangs up. The Queen is coming
to Grove High School.
I need to pull up that TikTok. I forgot to pull it.
I'll pull it up before you leave. Right.
It's silly, but it's just I love that so much. And so the Queen gets there eventually, and immediately the Queen is sitting in the vice principal's desk, and Principal Gupta comes up with a ceramic mug and a to-go mug. It's like, I'm sorry, this is the finest china we have. She's like
shaking so much.
And she trying to gracefully sets it, and then she just hands the styrofoam cup to Mia and goes, here.
Yeah. Like to Helen, yeah. She's
to Helen, yeah, you're right. Like,
she's
whatever.
Like, here, plebe.
Yeah, exactly. And they're sitting there trying to figure out what's going on, and in the background the whole time she's like mimicking the Queen, and she gets Joe to take her out eventually. But they have Paolo comes in, and we find out that Paolo was the one that snitched.
Paolo Putanesca.
And it was not for the money. It was for the money.
Well, there was some money.
But it was for the bride, right? And so we find out that's what happened. And so that gets settled, but now they have to figure out, Mia's like, okay, now I have to figure out soon what I'm going to do because I can't just not.
You can't just like book Mia be a princess in Genovia and not anywhere else.
Yeah. Like they actually have to deal with the press.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the news doxes where they live. They're like, oh yeah, they live in a renovated old fire station in this neighborhood. And you're like...
Yeah. And you're like, there is one of those.
Yeah.
Maybe in all of San Francisco.
I mean, there for sure are like secret agents for sure guarding that house. Mm-hmm. But still.
Well, yeah, I would guess that there is only one of those houses because you have to remember, like, San Francisco, most of it burned down.
And this fire station, because they actually filmed it in the fire station. They didn't build it. What? And I was looking it up on...
And you didn't go there for your grand San Francisco tour?
No, I didn't. But this fire station was one that they had to use horses at. Because it was, like,
it was
old.
100%. Mm-hmm. It was, like, one of the few remaining structures after San Francisco burned down.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right?
History.
Right. But so they're trying to figure it out. Then we have the like rainy courtyard scene where Joe's shooting basketball with the umbrella. Fun fact, they filmed him shooting basketballs for 2 hours to get those like 5 seconds of film.
Well, he's holding an umbrella. That's a very hard shot to make.
They were just like shooting him like
he was just like going. Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Filmmaking is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And so then Mia's walking on the bleachers and Lily comes up and is helping with the to-do list. And Mia slips, which was not planned, which is like, this is a fun fact that all fans know. Like, this is actually what happened.
Yeah, this is Aragorn kicking the helmet and breaking his toe. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But like, I love it because you can see how professional Anne Hathaway is.
Did you say loathe?
I love it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would loathe it if it was me. That hurts. Like, we've all been there.
Yes.
But like,
this is the first time I've noticed when she turns back around, she's like rubbing her butt.
Butt is sore. But like, she like what was acting. Number 3, Lily? Like, keep on going. Like, they just like improv their way back on track, and it's so good for 17.
I think this scene is actually like kind of powerful because like Joe is like ready to save her. Yeah. And she just like laughs it off. She's like, well, what a silly thing I've done. And it's kind of like, oh no, she doesn't need to be saved.
No, she's
not like a fragile little flower. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like this scene. Also, this is where one of the deleted scenes is where, before Lily comes and talks to her about going on, it's not called Lily Tells It Like It Is. Whatever her cable
Shut up and listen.
Yeah, Shut Up and Listen, her cable show. Michael comes over and is like, How long were you gonna live your double life? And is talking to her about that. And like, I'm so excited for Saturday because watching it this time, I'm like, oh, they don't really set up me and Michael at all. Yeah. Like, you just know because he's like
he's the nice boy that's
guy
there.
That plays keyboard with M&M's on it. You're like, obvious love interest for this girl who isn't like other girls.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a cute little deleted scene.
Definitely. The next set of scenes is the like little dinner. So this is like her practice round of being fancy with all the princess stuff she learned. So like she meets the prime minister and his wife, and there's all the different dignitaries and stuff. And I love her blue dress.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
I love the neckline. I wish that neckline was more popular. That like Regency era neckline.
We can start it.
Yeah, let's do a prom.
Okay,
and then Vanessa's like literally planning this in her head. I can tell. She's like, okay, tell me less. Say less.
I am an event girly, especially if I can plan it and control it.
Absolutely. I'm not. I don't like people in my house.
I was too busy in high school to be a part of the planning of like proms and stuff. I was too busy with other things. Yeah. But if I was free, you bet your ass I would be.
I bet that prom would have been rad.
Our prom was pretty cool.
Really?
It was carnival themed, and so like it was like fun colors and like lights, and like it was pretty cool.
At my high school, the juniors planned the prom, so it was like amazing when my class planned it, and it was pretty good when the class after us planned it. But like the classes before us, not good. Yeah, I think one year they had it in the gym. I'm like, come on, guys. This
at least like the local like Best Western conferences. That's what we did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Sandpoint and go to one of the hotel conference rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. But
anyways, adult prom, bring back the Regency dresses.
All right. I'm on it. I'll send you an invitation by bird.
Okay.
By carrier pigeon.
Oh,
It'll be Isaac.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Did you know that the last carrier pigeon died in the Cincinnati Zoo?
Passenger pigeon.
Carrier?
Passenger pigeon.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, the last one of those died in the Cincinnati Zoo.
Just edit my voice over here saying.
That's too much editing. I'd rather be wrong than have to edit. If there's anything I've learned from this podcast is I'm okay being wrong.
Yeah. Well, we've both been very wrong before. I was wrong today about
Electric
the e-scooters.
At this dinner, there's like all sorts of mishaps, right? Like she's like putting the napkin on her lap too early.
I would argue that some of them are not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that.
Yes, the last one specifically.
Yes.
But yeah, she is reading her name tag, gets
that
on
one is her
fire,
fault, 100%.
And that gets the drunk guy next to her arm on fire. Okay, here's a little like fun fact I learned today that after his arm's on fire, they're supposed to put it out in the ice bucket.
Mm-hmm.
The ice bucket does not put it out all the way, and so her throwing the water on there
is improv.
It's improv.
Wow.
Which is why the waiter comes over with that weird rag that is like a fire retardant thing.
Looks like it, yeah.
Right? And so like that whole thing, and that's why the prime minister and his wife are like extra shocked because they're like, it was supposed to go out. Like we practiced this with a safety person. Like
wow.
Yeah.
The more you know.
I love that part. And then there's the whole thing with the palate cleansing ice cream.
And you know what? The prime minister
and the wife
are so nice.
So good.
They're like, okay, she's looking like an idiot, so
yeah,
we will also look like idiots.
This is great. I love it. They love bits.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love that.
And then he wants to do a toast, and so she bangs the glass and breaks it. Not this summer, but last summer at my friend's bridal shower, my friend did that same exact thing.
Oh no! And it like gets in your food. Oh no!
Yeah. And then the waiter that pops in is like, "Oh, this happens all the time." The guy, the waiter with the white hair and beard. That's what I meant.
Face fur.
Face fur. Whatever. We're all mammals. Science.
Oh wow! This really is turning into a science
podcast. He is the same.
You're talking about passenger pigeons,
carrier pigeons. Anyways, that waiter is the same actor who played a waiter in Pretty Woman, also directed by the same director who in the Pretty Woman, when she does the whole snail thing and she throws it and he catches it, it's that guy who says the same line. And so the director got him to come do the same line. Right?
I love that.
Isn't
That's
that so fun?
That's
I love
crazy.
that. Yeah, so there's that mishap, and then there's the other mishap where she drops like a pear or a grape
falls on the ground, and she I'm like, Mia, just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes on the ground to get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not her fault. It's the fault of the little whiny drunk baby who's an actual adult.
Yeah.
My least favorite kind of child. The adult kind. And that's saying something because I do not like kids.
It's true.
And he is like, I'm leaving. I'm fed up.
Yeah.
And he gets up and storms off without paying attention. He's also drunk. Mm-hmm. So it is his fault. Mm-hmm. She did nothing wrong. He tripped over her, not her fault.
And like everything, like he trips, the waiter throws, there's food going over.
What's that thing called where it's like the marble rolls and the,
and then the grapes land on one of the dignitaries' plates, who's been quiet the whole time. And then he's been cracks up.
Not like totally deadpan the whole time.
He cracks up and then everyone laughs, so it ends up being fine. But of course, Mia's
mortified
because
she asked the waiters, was this my fault? And they say yes. And that is a messed up thing to tell her because it was not. It was the drunk, whiny adult baby's fault. Anyways,
absolutely.
Justice for Mia in that one moment, but the rest of the ones were her fault.
Yeah.
Particularly the fire one. Where she notices it's on fire and just puts it on the table to ignore it. Very funny.
Yeah. The next day at Princess Lesson, she's very upset about this, and then the queen/grandma is like, notice it. She's like, okay, let's cancel lessons. Let's go have fun. And so Mia says, I want you to meet my baby, and she freaks out because she doesn't realize
her eyes just go wide.
The baby is a car.
It's the baby blue shitty Mustang. that Michael Moskowitz is fixing in between playing keyboard with the M&Ms on it.
And so they go down to like the wharf area where there's all those like fun old games, and they have this like the cutest little like granddaughter date. It is so cute. But then they have to get back to the embassy or whatever the fancy
consulate.
Place. Thank you, consulate. Yes. And the car's not working on those San Francisco hills, and plus Mia is a 15-year-old driving. Anyways, and the car slides back and hits a trolley.
When they zoom in on her feet, it's truly horrifying. She's using like both feet on the brake. And I'm like panic.
And then it separates. And then on the brake.
Panic.
Yeah, and she just does not understand how to drive. Not that I drive stick ever, but like she definitely doesn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And so they crash into the trolley. But the trolley situation is a whole fun thing. The grandma saves it by essentially like sweet talking the cop and the trolley driver into being knighted. The
Genovian order,
the honor of the rose. Yeah. The rose is the street that they're on. Right. Like
this is some grade A like fast paced thinking on Clarice Rinaldi's
She's a
part.
Problem solver.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then
a little bit of manipulation, but that's okay.
But like,
also they were like, we have to take her downtown. I'm like, she is a minor.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
No.
You're not arresting this minor child.
Yeah. Anyways,
propaganda.
Is Princess Diaries propaganda?
Just this one part. This part
is propaganda. You're right.
I'm sorry.
It's not as propaganda as the book.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Anyways, especially the NYPD. If it's not Jake Peralta, I don't want it.
Well, you know how I feel about Andy Samberg, so I agree with that.
I agree. The next scene there, she's going back to school, but there's still crowds, but then she stops to sign two girls. Here's what we have, more Nepo babies. The two girls, the twin girls that she signs autographs for, are the grandchildren of the director.
So the director has...
His daughter is Charlotte. And then I'm pretty sure it's her kids, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cute.
And that's so sweet. So like, that's a Nepo baby I'm okay with.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
that's not really
general,
getting a leg up.
No, you just get to be in a movie. Also, they saw some of the auditions for Mia, and when they saw Anne Hathaway, they said that she has the best princess hair. Yeah, and I was like, that's sweet.
Cute. That's nice.
But because Mia has got all this publicity and she's a princess, she goes to her locker, and who is there waiting for her? But Josh Richer with his beach blonde stripper boy.
Josh Bryant in this movie.
Oh.
Stupid.
I don't know.
I don't understand the changes.
Yeah, some of them are silly.
Like they changed Lana and Josh's last names. I'm like, why?
Make them less New York, I guess. But he essentially asks her out to the beach party, the school function beach party. So California.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah. And she's, of course, excited. She runs over to Michael and says, hey, guess who asked me out for Saturday? And Michael's like, haha, me, in his head. Like, didn't we have this conversation?
Yeah, right.
And she's like, Chow Switcher, I'm going to the beach party. And he's like, heartbroken immediately. And Mia has no clue.
Right. You know
no
what?
Clue.
And just like Michael from the book, because you are not being obvious about it.
Yeah.
You also, maybe you have to be more obvious than you would think, because Mia is very internal.
Yes.
You just gotta.
And so Mia's getting ready for the beach party, and she's talking to her mom about everything. And she talks about how she hopes she gets her first real kiss.
Well,
and the asparagus thing.
Also on Saturday, she had agreed to be on Lily's cable show.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
but she does not
double
know
booked.
Lily. Yeah, she's triple booked at this point.
Yeah, true. When she's getting ready and she's talking about getting her first real kiss from the quote, as her mom says, the Backstreet Boy lookalike, which is very fair. She's like, I hope I get my foot pops. And her mom's like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like,
hold on, movies, child of mine.
In the movies when they're, which this is very like book Mia, like in movies when girls get really kissed, their foot pops.
Yes.
And then she has this daydream where it's just feet of people who are kissing, and the foot lifts up and it's like stuck on bubble gum, and it's just awful. She's like,
Like really stuck on
Yeah,
bubblegum.
it is gross. But just like romanticizing the foot pop of it all. And so it cuts to the beach.
Her mom says, I hope you get your first foot pop and kiss. And she's like, you're so embarrassing, Mom. I'm going to change.
It's your fault. You told your mom that.
Yeah, absolutely.
How to fix that is you don't tell your mom those things.
And her mom is also like, that guy has never been nice to you. And Mia's like, well, he is now.
Yeah.
He's the most sensitive boy in school, to quote Book Mia.
Yeah. And so we get to the beach, and it's classic like teen movie beach party. Like it actually
watch teen beach movie. You'll get a good idea about what.
Oh boy.
Just kidding, don't watch that.
Don't
movie.
watch
It's
that.
so bad.
I never finished it. Honestly.
Because it's so bad. Same.
Yeah.
I've only ever watched like YouTube people watching it on YouTube.
Same. But we get a song from Lana and the Bananas.
Okay.
Well, actually, Lana and the Lanettes. Sorry.
That is a way better name than Lana and the Lanettes.
Yes.
Lana and the Bananas.
Lana and the Bananas.
Hilarious.
Yes. Lana
But
and the Lanettes.
they don't have sense of humor.
But we have Mandy Moore singing Stupid Cupid, which is, I was obsessed.
Song is so annoying.
I had almost the exact same skirt as Lana.
The like,
The pink with those like lime green circles. I had a friend whose room was painted that way. Like she had an accent wall, and I was like, I want that paint so bad. But my mom was like, no, you get clouds instead, which I liked.
Sure.
But I
was
skirt.
not a pink girl, if you can believe it.
I wasn't like a pink girl. I was like in everything. I was like, I'll wear it all.
Right.
But like I had that skirt. I loved it.
Why isn't it black? Which actually a little bit on par with me now, but
yeah. Checks out a little bit. But yeah, and so they sing a song. Mia's out with Josh on some sailboat because he's a sailor.
Sorry.
The Josher?
I do have to say that the name of this sailboat is in fact the Josher. Which is a fact that Isaac pointed out and also laughed about.
Yeah, I mean it sums up who Josh is.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we cut to Lily's show, Shut Up and Listen, who she has Jeremiah who's doing magic for her while they wait for Mia. And then we see that Helen is watching the show, which makes sense.
Sure.
Right? That's something Helen will put on while she's doing something in painting, right?
Yeah.
But then we see that Queen
Clarice
Rinaldi of Genovia is watching this cable access show
run by teenagers.
Yeah.
I wonder if she like knew like
that Mia was
supposed to be on it.
Possibly.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, this is like her first real press interview."
The vibe,
which that's a thing in the book, is that Mia's first real interview is on
Lily Tells It Like It.
Yeah, is on Lily's cable or public access.
Yeah, but like the vibe of movie grandma Clarice is that she wouldn't watch TV in her free time.
Very noble.
No, she's busy.
She wouldn't have a VCR, but for a real reason.
Yeah, like to watch like
I'm very busy. I'm doing my embroidery.
Yeah, exactly. I did not understand that. But we get back to the beach, and they're like slow dancing, and Mia's like obviously having the time of her life. And then
Josh is greasy. Like he is greasy, nasty boy. Super gelled, super icky. Yeah.
And the helicopter comes
Andy Brinker. I can't believe you haven't seen that movie.
Well, I didn't have Disney Channel.
I'm gonna ask Sarah if she's seen it.
I didn't have Disney Channel, so like I would go to my friend's house to watch Disney Channel, and if it was a Disney Channel original movie that wasn't on when I was there, or like they were obsessed with, so like we watched a lot of Cheetah Girls.
This is like a really this is like way pre that, like
or the Luck of the Irish, like that one we watched a lot.
1998, Brink. Okay. Brink with an exclamation point.
Oh, okay.
Just show you the art.
Oh boy. Oh boy. One day when I have enough listeners to even put effort into a Patreon, I want to watch movies like that, like live on Patreon, or like or whatever pre-recorded of stuff that does not have to do with any books, that are just like shit movies that we just want to watch.
Hey guys, go ahead and like and subscribe. That's a YouTube thing? Shit.
That is the YouTube thing.
Rate 5 stars
and subscribe,
and also subscribe
and download.
Downloads
are the big thing.
Listen, but mostly just download. Apparently, I don't understand.
And then if you have a tablet, You can also download it on there too. That counts.
Leave a review. I don't. Spotify is the worst.
Spotify, you can't leave reviews.
Podcast platform of all time.
Apple Podcasts, you can.
Great.
And
here you go.
I am still trying to get it listed on Google Play.
Okay.
It will eventually.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just Spotify and Apple because they're the easiest. But if you have Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review. And if it's one I like, I'll put it on the Instagram.
Yeah. And, if you don't like this, don't leave a review. Or do, but make it 5 stars.
Or just DM me, and then I might read it.
Yeah. Or you could DM me, but you can't.
You can't. She's a ghost.
That's the joke, is that you can't.
Yeah. It's a ghost.
I've played a prank on you.
You've been warned. Anyways, back at the beach, the paparazzis are chasing them. Mia and Josh are running into this little beach shack, and Josh immediately is trying to like woo her and try to kiss her, and Mia, like, her feet get stuck in the net, so she stops the kiss so that
she can't do her foot pop,
so she can't have it, and so
she falls into a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, we have time, give me a foot rub.
Do you want a foot rub? And she says, wow, that would be great, because she's just had trauma because of the paparazzi.
Yeah.
And then he puts his nasty
sailor
high school foot, his shoe is still on.
Yeah.
This ranks up there with any TV show where people are on beds or couches with their nasty shoes on. You take your shoes off. You can put them on the coffee table. I don't care. That's your life.
Yeah.
I don't choose to personally. I don't give a fuck what you do. Don't put your nasty shoes in somebody's lap, and don't put your nasty shoes on a couch, and don't put your nasty shoes in a bed. Nasty boy behavior. This has been my rant.
Thank you for your PSA.
I hate that. If a boy put his footed, like, you've seen when people put their feet too close to me, I have a meltdown.
Fair.
Don't ever put a footed foot, whatever, in my lap.
They try to kiss, doesn't happen.
I was like, what was I talking about? I was talking about shoes a lot. What scene are we on?
They leave to go find a more romantic place because it's quiet out there. And as soon as they're leaving the shack,
we see some of the wildest reporter disguises.
Paparazzi has like 8, like 3 handfuls, like 8 pieces of straw taped to, honestly, that'd be a great Halloween costume.
But it's just him. He's wearing like a ghillie suit. And then every other reporter is just like in a suit next to him. Very hilarious.
Yeah, and so they come out and they're all like yelling at him, and the one reporter says, "Give her a smooch." And so he does. He plants a big old gross, salty kiss on her.
And she takes her flip-flop and freaking whaps him in the head.
Platform flip-flops?
Ouch. Absolutely.
Love a platform flip-flop. Ah.
But that's that's dense.
Yeah, if there was a Gen Z version of this movie, that would be a platform croc. I thought about that.
Or platform Uggs. Uggs would take too long, though.
Yeah.
Crocs would be an easy off, easy slap.
Yeah, and also they're cute, I think. Because I'm a weirdo and I love Crocs. Anyways.
Okay.
And so she's running. She's like, I need to find my clothes. I'm still in my swimsuit gear. And we have Land and the Bananas have her clothes.
This is a very confusing scene to me as well.
They're talking to each other like, oh, I thought we didn't like Mia. She goes, well, no, we don't like Josh right now.
Yeah, we hate Josh. And Mia's not around. So it's not like they're faking for the cameras or anybody. Yeah, like there's nobody around but these 3. And they're like, oh, we should help Mia, blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, I didn't realize we liked Mia. No, we do.
Yeah. And so they give Mia her clothes. They help her into the changing tent. And so Mia's changing. And then Lana has this evil grin and runs off to get the paparazzi. And they all surround this tent. Like, she's in here. She's going to have her clothes off. And they remove the tent. And she is naked, like wraps a towel around.
Yeah, she's 15, by the way.
15.
Porn.
Yeah.
Child porn.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Jail. All of y'all. Including the Lana and the Bananas.
Yeah. But this, it's like, it's very confusing.
It's confusing.
Because they're like, we like her, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, just kidding.
Yeah.
We were joking with each other. I'm confused.
Yeah. And the next little bit, she gets home and she's in her mom's arms on like the stairs. And her mom's like, my mom told me I couldn't cry and I had to be a big girl, but you can just cry because they hurt you and you're allowed to cry. And every time that makes me want to cry. I'm just like, it's so.
And Mia's like, it was so awful.
Yeah.
My foot didn't even pop. Which, of course, is like, you're very upset about many, many things. And what you would focus on is something silly.
Yeah. And so she's, of course, all over the news with this, quote, partying behavior, right? The bad paparazzi. She's been a known princess for days.
She's a party girl. I'm like, this was a school event.
Yeah.
Like, literally, there's teachers there.
The media doesn't care.
Yeah.
Of course. Like,
and nobody, even back then, they didn't read. They were like, oh, look at her.
Yeah.
America's princess is a party girl, huh?
Yeah. And so the next day, the grandma/queen is giving her like a big lecture, and Mia's just sitting there taking it like, yeah, I fucked up, dude. I shouldn't be a princess.
She's like, I did it. I'm so sorry for embarrassing the family.
And she leaves, like, thinking essentially that she's not going to take the throne. And Joe comes in and is like,
are you serious?
Queen, you could have been
Lana, Badana, Fontana, Montana.
Like, they're all not good. I've been around them. Trust me.
Yeah.
They're all bad.
They set her up.
Trust Mia. Also, you're not being a good grandma. Right? Yeah.
Basically, he is. Yeah. Good for you, Joe.
Yeah. And then we have Mia and Lily having their heart-to-heart on the basketball field, which is so good.
Yeah.
Like, Mia says, I don't want to be a princess. And Lily's like, but I want you to. And she's like, what? She goes, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, you'd be good at it. Like, all this stuff. Like, I'm just jealous. Like, I'm a jealous bitch.
Yeah,
that's essentially
like,
what Leah said.
My cable show that I'm trying to do, like, active good with reaches 12 people, which is very funny.
Dozens.
Yeah, there are
my podcast reached dozens.
He's like, I only reach 12 people with my show, and I want to do all this good in the world. So it would be awesome if you were a princess and you actually had the power and you were able to do good in the world and through that.
It's just so sweet. Like the 180 from being like, I was being jealous. I'm sorry. Also, this is what I really meant. It's like also very like realistic.
How could you leave me with Jeremiah doing up close freaking magic the whole time? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, I'll say it. I like movie Lily much better than book Lily.
Yeah. Lily has her moments in the books.
Yes.
But like she's obviously always like wild on purpose and extreme. Like, and it's a little bit much sometimes. You're like, we get it.
Yes.
You're anti everything. Yeah. The next scene is the baseball scene. Where Marissa's raising her arms up like she just won the marathon or something.
I would never run.
I know. But Mia's up to bat. She goes and she is like getting like teased by everyone. Like Josh is like, come in, guys, you know.
You're like not good at sports and that's hilarious.
And so she hits the ball. Supposedly it hits Josh in the groin. If you look at it, it hits his stomach, and then they cut to the different take where it hits him lower.
It's a wiener wallop, as Isaac said.
It does. That's what they're trying to portray. The editing was a little
wonky, but
I don't care. Wallop.
I choose to believe in the wiener wallop.
Wiener wallop. I choose to believe. Oh boy. If I ever make merch, I will have something that says, I choose to believe in the wiener wallop.
You're welcome.
I cannot wait. I will design that myself.
Absolutely.
And then she ends up doing a home run and sliding in to home base, and is like, she passes the class. It's like,
that's all you needed?
Yeah, right?
I feel like you're just showing up, and she has been trying.
Then we have the moment where Michael comes by her house, and she has the pore strip.
The pore strip.
Those hurt.
Yeah, but if it was like ready to pull off and it hurt to pull off, then it was probably done. So
it's true.
Good call, Michael.
Yeah. But he's
such a sad boy in this scene. It gives me a little bit of sad boy PTSD. Yeah.
That's fair. He is.
No elaboration.
He is a little bit sad boy.
Yeah.
And like Mia kind of apologizes. Like she's like starting to realize that like, oh, Josh is the worst. And I should not be looking at him. I should be looking towards
And Michael,
as
they say in the book, a real Baldwin. That is a reference they make in the book all the time.
They do make a Baldwin jokes all the time, which does not age well.
Yeah, the Baldwin's not hot. No longer the hot commods.
Ugh. Anyways, the next scene is a very great scene and very similar to the book. So next day, Mia has her wool hat back on because she likes it, apparently.
Yeah, good for her.
She's waiting for Lily to be done. She's hanging out with Jeremiah.
Yes.
Who's wearing an ugly sweater and has bright red dyed hair, like hot Cheeto red.
Right.
Yeah. And the Lana and the Bananas.
You know what? He would be like a cool kid now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh. Yeah, the sweater and the red hair.
Right? The sweater, honestly, I love it.
I was like, that sweater looks
Don't tuck it in your pants.
Right. Sure. We
I
do have
agree.
our limits.
Yes.
It looks comfy.
Yeah.
It's bright.
Yeah, I bet he
It's
thrifted
fun
it.
pattern. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to God he thrifted it because
Otherwise, ooh. But Lana and the Bananas are sitting there. They turn around and like, oh, what a little nerd couple, Maya and Mia. And Mia has an ice cream cone, and she's like, hey, and she like does a really good job of being like super sincere, like, Lana, I just love your cheerleading costume. And she stabs Lana with the ice cream cone.
Yep, our favorite form of nonviolent bully retribution.
Yes.
Ice cream cone stabbing.
And like, it's just so good. She rubs it in, and she's like Lana's screaming, and then everyone starts chanting, Lana got coned! Lana got coned!
This is what I was saying last time. It is objectively funny when somebody gets stabbed with an ice cream.
Absolutely.
100%. And I like in this version where she's like, Principal Gupta, she stabbed me with an ice cream. And Principal Gupta is like, oh, how unfortunate. Send it out for dry cleaning, and then sits back down. And like all the teachers are like giggling at the staff table.
So Mia is still like very much in the like, shouldn't I, like very much, I don't want to do this princess stuff because of letting people down, not because she doesn't think she can do it. You know, so Grandma comes over, gives her a pep talk, but it doesn't like work all the way, and so
she's already decided to not be princess. She's just like, should I go to the ball or not? Basically,
yeah. And so, they like make a plan. She tells the grandma that her mom's gonna drive her because it's her first ball. So Grandma's like, okay, we'll see you then. But she's gonna start packing. So she starts packing, and including the fancy diary she got from her grandma from her father who passed away, which she unlocks and then flips through, and an envelope obviously falls down. And it's just like...
and then she throws it open into her bag willy-nilly. No.
It's a beautiful diary.
Yeah, it's really
like
gorgeous.
Leather bound, embossed.
You have to open it with a locket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then...
They don't make diaries like they used to, I'll tell you.
Fat Louie, her cat, which we've barely talked about.
Yeah. He's not a big part of this movie, I'll just say it.
He's also not an orange cat.
He's not an orange cat,
He's
which
black and
actually
white.
makes me really sad because
orange
Toms are like so the sweetest little babies.
They are. Fun fact about the cats. Fat Louie is played by 4 different cats.
Wow.
There was a cat for when he was able to be carried quietly. There's one that could sit still, one that jumped, and one who sat on the envelope.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that one was just for the envelope sitting.
Yeah.
The cat noises over Fat Louie, though, are so fake.
They are.
It's so funny. Like, the cat does not move its mouth at all.
Yeah.
It's like, when Clarice is there, when they're like, Mia's freaking out about first learning she's a princess, and the subtitles are like hiss, like Clarice gets close to Fat Louie and he's supposed to hiss, and he just is sort of like looking at her. I'm like, okay,
that cat's not hissing.
That cat is not hissing. Yeah.
And so she's packing up, but then she finds Fat Louie on top of this envelope, opens it, and reads it. It's a letter from her dad, who was supposed to be for her 16th birthday in a few weeks. Her dad is played by Anne Hathaway's actual dad.
Okay, I was wondering if they did that, because there's like an actual picture.
Yeah, the picture and him like by the river writing it, and the voice is over is all her dad.
Oh, I love that.
But like essentially gives her the confidence to be like, oh no, I can't be a princess. Like, this is the thing that I should be doing.
Yeah.
And so she changes her plan, and she gets, it's of course, it starts thundering and pouring rain. And I'm like, does the thunder in San Francisco?
Oh, I don't know. But, this...
You said something weird.
I was like, okay, keep it in, because I was laughing because, so Jess and I are both from the West. Like, Jess is from Alaska, a very rainy place. And I have lived in the Pacific Northwest for like a lot of my life. And you just know, like, if you live in a place where it rains a lot, you don't carry an umbrella.
No one does.
You, like, very rarely have your raincoat on you. So when Mia grabs, like, just a hooded sweatshirt, I was like, nah, that's classic rain-soaked area resident. Just like, sweater will be fine.
It'll be fine. I have 20.
And then she's soaked in like 5 seconds.
And you're just like, that's fine.
Yeah. It just made me laugh.
It's one of the reasons why I think I'd be okay at Survivor, because I'm used to being soaked my whole life.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
I couldn't deal with the sand, but...
And so she gets into her Mustang, and the convertible part won't get up, and so she's driving with her like Mustang, just collecting
open
water
to the elements.
And meanwhile at the ball, they're all waiting for her to arrive. They realize that she pulled a fast one, and Joe immediately is like, "Oh, she's gonna run." So they send Joe out to go and find her and get her. And so she's trying to go all the way there. Her car, of course, breaks down, but this part at a flat area, so she's safe. But she's sitting there. It's pouring rain. She's yelling at the sky and just like distraught. And like any sort of car issue, I have felt those emotions.
Yes, it's very overwhelming if you don't know what's going on.
If I did not know the immediate step.
A light turns on my dashboard and I'm like, panic.
Yeah.
Panic? What is that?
Yeah. Immediately.
Yep,
and so she's sitting there and she's just letting the rain fall on her, and she just goes, "Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket."
Which is a song that they sang earlier.
And Joe's like looking for her at the house and like trying to track her down. Everyone's worried about her. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Joe drives up. When Joe drives up, the music.
Oh yeah. It's what? It's so like. Is
it like reveal or whatever, the like trumpet wake up in the morning song?
Like something like that. And she gets in the car. They get to the ball. Clarice is about to be like make the announcement of that Mia's not going to be a princess, or the ruler at least. And then Mia coughs, and she's sitting there, jacket soaked, hair just
Charlotte
soaked
is
in
like
jeans,
squeezing water out of her hair into a glass.
Yeah, and then she gives this little speech that she's like fumbling through, but like in a very adorable way.
One of my favorite parts in this scene is the like teen. Whatever, the Teeny Bopper magazine reporting on her outfit. Oh, yeah. She has sort of a wet grunge hairstyle. It's so silly. And the writing in this movie is so funny.
It's so good. Meg Cabot co-wrote it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then she, like, Clarice comes out, gives her the crown, the whole deal. And then they end up changing. They bring in Paolo again to help with the hair and stuff. Which I was like, choices. All right.
He calls the butler like a green bean man.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought
but like
was
that
so
change,
funny.
she changes so fast. That had to be like at least 45 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like, yes, it's a
for
party.
full glam.
But no one can dance until they dance because they have to open up the ball.
Oh hell yeah, just eat. You know
That's fair.
there's food.
That's
you know
fair.
where I am.
I'm looking at crab cakes.
2 places where the food is. If there's a dog there, that is the second place you will find me.
True. It's true.
The dog area, the food area.
The food area. Yeah, and so finally Mia comes out and she has this really pretty like white and gold gown. It's so pretty. And they have to do an official dance. And so the queen is dancing with the prime minister and Mia's like, who do I dance with?
And I understand the reasoning for this, but I'm like, shady. Prime Minister, you dance with Mia because Mia doesn't know anybody.
But we need the
I know,
Michael
absolutely.
moment.
I understand the point.
And the sea parts from the crowd, and Michael comes out in his tux. And
he looks very nice.
Yeah.
With his face and his hair and his tux.
It's so
Isaac
cute.
is yet again making fun of me. He does not realize
it's not just
the ubiquitous nature of the desire for Michael Moskovitz.
Absolutely.
Again, Hannah texted me,
Yeah.
Are you going to talk about Robert Schwartzman? Yes, Hannah.
Yes.
Infinitely. Forever.
Current.
Current. Scruffy, hot man, Nepo baby.
Her and Michael start with a slow dance, and then he brings her out to the garden, and then Joe is like, I had the same plan, but I guess it's occupado. I'm like, okay, hilarious. Suave, Joe.
Yeah.
And then Mia gets her toe-popping kiss, and her foot pushes the, like, lever that turns on the whole garden's, like, lights and water. And it's just the cutest little moment, and then they have a dancing scene to the
he says, like, why me? Mm-hmm. And she says, because you saw me when I was invisible. Okay, and here is why an entire generation of people who like men like this character.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. When they're dancing to the Miracles Happen song, do you know?
Like we were.
Yeah. Do you know what song they were playing for the actors? Like a Prayer. Which is a great song to dance to.
And Madonna.
Perfect. Book Mia.
Tie-in.
Book Mia would love.
Number one on Mia's Most Powerful Women.
Absolutely. And then it cuts to her voiceover. So this is where we have the Dear Diary, the Princess Diary of it all.
She's going to Genovia.
She's going to Genovia. And she's like, Dear Diary, everything's wrapped up. Everyone is nice. We're moving. Happy. And then we have Joe go, Princess, look out the window. And welcome to Genovia. Which... about a couple months ago was like a TikTok trend.
Oh, huge.
So funny.
Yeah. It even came to Instagram fast, which is where I saw it. And that, a trend is big when...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it wraps up. And the castle, for those interested, is the Longford Castle in Salisbury, Wiltshire, England. So we could go there.
Wow.
It's British.
It looks pretty nice too. Not like falling apart.
Yeah. But what a fantastic movie.
Oh, just one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I was joking that Janessa and I could do this podcast could just be us doing the movie back and forth.
Absolutely.
Which, hey,
we did it a few times.
Yeah. And if there are enough listeners,
if you want the Genovia cut,
if you want the Genovia cut,
the Genovia
great.
Cut.
And then we could have a Patreon, and Janessa and I will reenact this movie as a 2-woman show.
It'll be wonderful.
Well, it won't be wonderful. It will be terrible, but it will be awesome.
Yes. Absolutely. So some fun facts that I did not mention as we went on. During auditions, Anne Hathaway actually did fall out of the chair, which really solidified her as a
when she's doing
girl.
The leg thing? Amazing.
Like, that was like an accident, like an audition. Do you know who was also considered for Princess Mia? Who auditioned? So some people that like we know from other things, so like January Jones from Mad Men, Emmy Rossum.
Whoa.
Emmy Rossum from
Phantom and Shameless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She could have
been good,
right?
Not as good as Anne Hathaway, who's perfect.
Scarlett Johansson,
no,
and Amanda Bynes.
Oh,
pre Big Fat Liar.
You know who else was in Big Fat Liar? Sandra Oh.
I know.
Wow.
I was thinking about that.
It's gonna be a no from me,
right?
Dog. Wait, is this pre or no? This would be pre.
Pre-Shameless for sure.
No, for Amanda Bynes. What's that movie with Colin Firth? What a Girl Wants.
What a Girl Wants. I think it's. I love that movie. I love Colin Firth.
I told you I just watched it recently. Oh, do you love Colin Firth?
I love Colin Firth. Why?
Interesting. You know what? I think this movie is definitely in my top 10.
Honestly, it's up there.
Maybe in my top 10. I'm not going to put it in the top 5. I don't think.
I would say top 20, just because I have a lot of favorites.
That's my problem.
I'm like, everything's 5 stars. I'm
like, I love it so much.
Yeah. My last little thing. Guess who also auditioned for Queen Clarice?
Oh, irrelevant.
Who cares? Dame Helen Mirren.
Oh, okay. Too serious.
Would have made a better Grand Mire.
Yes. Oh,
right.
In an alternate universe where they do a more
book accurate,
like a TV show. Helen Mirren would be great. Kill it.
Right?
She's awesome.
Yeah.
But not
for this
not
version.
in this role.
But yeah.
This is Julie Andrews' role.
Before we finally wrap this up, thank you for listening to this chaotic episode. We'll take notes next time. It's fine. It's been fun.
That's what editing's for.
Yeah, absolutely. The big question of the whole podcast, is this a good adaptation?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
I think it takes all of the best parts of the book, and then it changes parts that either don't matter or kind of actively either go against the book, like how intense and annoying Lily can be. And it also condenses it because this is a 10 book series. Like initially, it has like adult books, but the YA one is 10 books.
Yeah.
And like this Princess Diaries, the first book, kind of just stops.
Yeah.
It's like they go to the cultural diversity dance and then it ends.
Yeah.
So there's no real resolution because we're getting whatever in the next book.
Yeah.
So I think it is good at condensing it. And then everything is kind of that is great about the book that made us like laugh and really enjoy the book is still in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they change Mia, but they make her maybe not as like bombastic of a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Like she's a little more subdued, which I think translates well to the screen. They don't do the diary.
Yes.
Huge props to them for that decision. Yeah, it's just really good. The writing is really good. I think they included the author of the book,
which helps.
I think
everyone should do that.
Yes, I don't understand this. Like, oh, it's writing a screenplay is different. Then get somebody who knows how to write screenplays and have them work with the author. I don't understand why this is such a difficult concept.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I think that's why that Meg Cabot was like, here's the core parts that are really important, and here's what we can do. We can put them in San Francisco. Who gives a crap? Like, like I just think it's perfect and amazing. It is
so good. Again, there's maybe that soccer scene that we could cut out.
That's literally I can pinpoint one scene that could be cut out.
Every second is worth watching.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I 100% agree. And it's a 5-star movie for me.
Absolutely.
And I will
2 thumbs up.
Well, I'll be watching the second movie tomorrow because I need to. I just need to.
Chris Pine and his terrible
Chris Pine.
hair. We love Chris Pine here.
I love Chris Pine.
That's Chris.
I don't mind the sideburns in that movie.
I don't know. They don't do that. They're not for me, but
maybe it goes with my banjo
Chris
and
Pine,
harmonica.
maybe we're learning some things about Janessa today. But Chris Pine is now a Silver Fox, and
the D&D movie.
We love him.
If you did not listen to all Marissa's threats earlier in the episode,
threats. I'm glad. If you didn't take them as threats, let me assure you.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, download, rate us 5 stars, leave a happy review. Make sure you follow the Instagram. December. Again, I keep saying we have fun plans. I'm excited for December.
I have some insight. It's gonna be good, guys.
I'm excited. The Instagram's at Read the Book First Podcast. And remember, read the book first. That was a one-take wonder. Look at that.
Look at us.